In this video, we will show you something so dark and twisted that even Nazis were shocked. Stay tuned till the end. The US military is known worldwide for its bravery and strength. There are many stories about them helping people in dangerous situations. In most of the videos, they come off as heroes who help those in need. But there's one story that will make you question everything you know about them. Before we begin, make sure you hit the like button to receive more amazing content. Let's start. After World War II, the Allies decided what to do with the remaining Nazis. Most of them ended up in jail, but some were given a chance to start a new life. The US military was in charge of taking care of the prisoners of war, which included high-ranking officers and regular soldiers. They had to make sure the soldiers were treated well until they could be sent home. This is where things get really interesting. High-ranking Nazi officials were taken to a special camp in Germany. It was called Camp Special. As you can guess from the name, these Nazis weren't treated like ordinary prisoners. They got better food and nicer clothes. It was almost like a country club compared to other prison camps. It might sound crazy, but it's true. These Nazis were living better than many people outside the camps. Some even said it felt like a vacation, but why would the US military do this? Why didn't they punish the Nazis right away? Well, the US government had a plan. They wanted to use the Nazis in Operation Paperclip. This plan was all about getting important information out of the Germans. You see, the US wanted to know everything about the Nazi war machine. They were interested in weapons, secret plans, and anything else that could help them. The plan was to ask the Nazis questions and get them to talk. And believe it or not, many Nazis agreed to share what they knew. You might be wondering why the Nazis agreed. It's because the US military promised them one thing: no punishment. That's right, the Nazis who shared secrets were given immunity from prosecution. This meant they wouldn't be put on trial for their crimes. Instead, they were rewarded with comfortable living conditions. And if that wasn't enough, they also got paid by the US government. Can you believe it? The same government that was fighting against them was now paying them for information. It sounds insane, but it's a true story. This brings us back to the main question. Why did the US military do this? Why didn't they just punish the Nazis instead of giving them rewards? Well, there are a few reasons. First, the US wanted to win the war. They needed any advantage they could get, and that included using the Nazis' knowledge. Second, the US was interested in the technology and inventions created by the Germans during the war. Many of these inventions were ahead of their time, and the US wanted to get its hands on them. Finally, the US government believed that the Nazis should be punished, but only for crimes committed after the war. This meant that the Nazis who shared information were safe from prosecution. Now, let's move on to the next part of the story. Herbert Kappler was a high-ranking Nazi official in Germany. He was in charge of the security police in several cities and was responsible for the arrest and deportation of many Jews. After the war, he was captured by the US military and taken to Camp Special. He was one of the lucky ones. Instead of being put on trial for his crimes, he was given a comfortable life at the camp. He was allowed to have nice meals, good clothes, and even access to alcohol. He was also interviewed by the US government and asked to share any information he had about the Nazis. In return, he was promised immunity from prosecution. Kappler didn't disappoint. He shared everything he knew about the Nazi war machine, including information about secret weapons and plans. He also shared the names of Nazi officials involved in war crimes. The US government was thrilled with the information they received and made sure to keep their promise to Kappler. He was never put on trial and was even given a chance to start a new life in America. After the war, Kappler used his knowledge to help the US government rebuild Germany. He also worked as a consultant for the CIA and helped train agents. Even though he was involved in some of the worst crimes of the Nazi regime, Kappler was never punished. He lived out the rest of his life in America and died in 2007. The story of how the U.S. military treated high-ranking Nazi officials after World War II is truly shocking. Despite their involvement in some of the most heinous crimes in history, many of these officials were given comfortable living conditions and even immunity from prosecution. This raises questions about the ethics of such treatment and whether it was really necessary to ensure cooperation. It seems that in the pursuit of winning the war and obtaining valuable intelligence, the U.S. government was willing to overlook the atrocities committed by the Nazis. The story of Herbert Kappler is a prime example of this. Despite his role in the arrest and deportation of many Jews, he was treated like a VIP at Camp Special and was given a second chance at life in America. Such actions by the U.S. military not only shocked the world, but also raised ethical concerns about the treatment of war criminals. What are your thoughts on this? Should the U.S. military have shown no mercy to the Nazis, or do you understand their need for intelligence and cooperation? Let us know in the comments below. As we continue our journey through history, it is important to remember the victims of these horrific events and honor the brave individuals who fought against tyranny and oppression. The legacy of World War II continues to shape our world today, and it's up to us to learn from the past and work towards a better future. Moving on to the next point, one of the reasons the U.S. government took this approach was to obtain valuable intelligence from the Nazis. By offering them leniency, the U.S. was able to gain insight into Nazi Germany's war plans, weapons development, and other classified information. This intelligence proved useful in the final years of the war and helped the Allies gain the upper hand. The U.S. was particularly interested in the advanced German technology developed during the war, such as rocketry and jet aircraft. By working with German scientists and engineers, the U.S. was able to acquire this technology and use it to its advantage. However, this approach was not without its critics. Many people, including some U.S. military personnel, questioned the ethics of working with the very people they were fighting against. Nonetheless, the U.S. government believed that the potential benefits outweighed the risks and pressed on with Operation Paperclip and other similar programs. The treatment of Nazi Germany as leaders after the war has been a subject of much debate over the years. While some argue that they should have been given a chance to defend themselves in court, others believe that their crimes were so heinous that they deserved no mercy. The Nuremberg trials, which took place after the war, aimed to hold Nazi leaders accountable for their actions. However, many of these trials were seen as a way to obtain confessions and intelligence rather than a true pursuit of justice. As we look back on this dark chapter in history, it is important to remember the victims of the Nazi regime and honor the brave individuals who fought against tyranny and oppression. The legacy of World War II continues to shape our world today, and it's up to us to learn from the past and work towards a better future. Thank you for watching. We hope you have learned something new and thought-provoking. Please like and comment to stay updated on our latest videos. Your support helps us continue to bring you informative and engaging content.